Today on Convincing Idiots, we have Pat Sajak conversation. His last show. We talk about concerts being canceled this summer. A couple of artists pulling out this summer. Maybe we might too. And then we get into cults. Oh boy. We talk about cults, the good, the bad, and some maybe if we're a cult. And then our main event topic this week, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to want to stick around because we talk about our Mount Rushmore of our favorite female villains. All that and a lot more. So there's nothing else left to do. So let's start the show.
You guys enjoy your whatever that is.
All right. Test.
You call it again?
Convincing idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the Statman, not just anyone's opinion, the Statman Brian Fisher.
These kids today.
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got to hold poop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the sea
Caucasian.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the vodcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is Convincing Idiots. My name's Dean, the Zennial.
I'm Brian Gen X.
And if you had listened last week, you know that Nicholas is taking a summer sabbatical.
Yes.
He is probably somewhere on a beach. I'm assuming with one of those little umbrella drinks in his ass. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's not us to ask questions like that. You know, a man's privacy is a man's privacy. But what is not private is this episode of Convincing Idiots, episode 193. Brian, just you and me at the helm. How have you been? What are you doing?
That's right. Well, before I tell you how I'm doing, I'll tell you what we're doing. How about that, sir?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm jumping
That's
the gun.
okay.
Look at me.
That's all right. Nick's not here, man. You got to go and do his job, all that stuff.
Throws the whole
Yeah.
chi off. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So we are a podcast normally consisting of three friends from three generations talking all things nerd and pop culture. Although this summer is going to be the two of us with occasional guests. We're jumping in as available. So we'll have some friends joining throughout the summer. See how
They
that
don't
goes.
get drunk and don't find their way here. You know.
That's right. Like one may or may not have done this evening. Don't know.
We'll see.
Don't know. Still could happen. Still
We
could
might have a pop-on
guest.
guest. Stay tuned.
Absolutely. Pop-on guest, pop-out guest.
Right.
Never know. We can be heard wherever you listen to podcasts. We're on all major podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, Pocket Cast, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, etc. So wherever you listen to podcasts, give us a free follow or subscribe. And as we publish new episodes, we will pop into your podcast feed to listen at your convenience. Rate, review, share, all that good stuff, and give us a rating and review on Apple, especially. That helps others find the show. You might be watching us on our YouTube channels at Convincing Idiots, YouTube or YouTube Music. And all show information, if you can't remember any of that, can be found at two main places. Our Linktree page is simply Google Linktree Convincing Idiots, simply a page with links to our social media, etc. Or our website, convincingidiots.wordpress.com. All show information's there, links to new episodes, videos, bios, our TeePublic store for some merch. Get yourself a Convincing Idiots tank top for the summertime, something like that. Absolutely. I did as well. And there you go. If you do anything, like I said, to share, tell a friend, and we appreciate your support out there.
Absolutely.
So, yes. By the way, we've seen some additional listens in India
Hey,
out
look
there,
at that.
Dean. So India has been creeping up the listen list here lately.
Welcome.
That's right. Saudi Arabia, Dean. I think we're
Okay,
big.
nice.
We're big over there in Saudi Arabia. Yeah,
That makes sense.
It's a national force out there.
Sure.
So, yeah, welcome, listeners. We appreciate and hope you enjoyed enough to come back and listen to some more. So,
Very good.
that's it. So, how are you doing? We'll come back to you then, Dean. How are you doing, sir?
We lose Nick, and then I get a haircut. I feel like everything's spinning out of control.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on. No, I'm good. Just hanging out, living and loving. Actually, I went to dinner with Nick and his family. Carter and I went to what was it? The Twisted Sushi Burger and Sushi out in Medina.
Mm-hmm.
He had never been, so we all went out there, had some sushi and burgers. Given the name, it was a good time. And then you and I got to hang out a little bit.
Yes, last evening.
Won at trivia.
Yes.
Won the first game, because we're fucking smart.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Other than that, just working. What about you?
Still getting the house ready, man. Again, as I mentioned, getting this place ready to list, see how that goes. And
Days coming quick.
Girlfriend, yeah, man. And Allie and I, girlfriend, looking to get a place together this summer if it works out well. So that's a big move. And Allie and I went out last Saturday to Aladdin's in Cuyahoga Falls. I've never eaten at an Aladdin's restaurant. It's like Mediterranean type food.
Yeah.
It was really good. I really enjoyed
That's
it.
Good.
We sat on the sidewalk patio. It was a great evening here in Northeast Ohio. And I don't know if it's a chain. It's definitely around here or not. So if you do have
they
to have
got that one in
Aladdin,
Fairlawn, right?
there's a couple. Highland Square. There's been one for years, just outside downtown Akron. So certainly for in this area, if you've never tried Aladdin's, go check it out. Nice, light food. Very, very good. And that's it, man. The rest of I spent like 7 hours Sunday cleaning out the fucking basement and just a lot of
moving
work.
and shaking there.
Yeah, man. But it's looking good. It's shaping up. So, just getting ready. So have you seen or heard anything you wish to recommend in Idiot Reviews, sir?
Yes, I have. I did take Nicholas's recommendation with I Think That You Should Leave. I think on Netflix, the
That's right.
sketch comedy show.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a fever dream. It is it takes you a bit. The episodes are really quick. They're only like 10 minutes.
Yes.
It took me a couple to kind of get in that mindset to watch what I was watching and understand. Like, not all of it hits. Like Nick said before, not all of it hits, but the things that do hit are really fucking funny. The guy's really just absurd and very obscure jokes, very broad. It is. I will say it's funny. I will give it a recommendation. I do think that it's worth checking out. If you like that real broad, very weird, obscure, cringe-worthy is another word I would describe. I do recommend it. At least give it and you got to give it a few episodes to get into it, I think.
I watched a little bit of it as well. Nick came over last summer. We watched an NBA Finals game or something like that. Then we watched some of those out on the front porch, and it was good. It was good with a drink, chilling out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. I agree with all that. It's there. I mean, he would probably say the same thing. Is there a hit and miss? I think my favorite was the one we went on the job interview, and he's like trying to pull the door instead of pushing it. The guy's like, "Oh no, you have to pull," and you have to push it rather, and he was determined to pull the door the opposite direction so to not be wrong, and he was struggling so much to pull the door back and broke it or something like that. Just
I don't think I
bizarre
got to that
stuff.
one yet.
Yeah, just
Yeah, I went
bizarre,
linear. I
funny
went from the
stuff like
very
that.
first episode
Okay.
into the second season.
Okay.
Another thing I watched, and I know you did too. We can discuss this. Godzilla Minus One.
Yes.
Carter picked it out. It is everything that they said it was. These special effects are fantastic, are definitely Oscar worthy enough. It deserved the Oscar. I'm glad to see that a Godzilla movie did win the Oscars, a Oscar finally.
Yep.
After 70 some years, 80 some.
They
maybe.
played the fucking guys off the stage, trying to read their speech in English.
Yeah, it
fucking
fucked up.
Yeah, that was not nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, yep.
But the movie was good. I don't know if you agree with me on this, but as a film, if you would have taken away Godzilla from the equation, it was a very, very good movie. It had heart. I liked the post World War II history from the Japanese side.
Yes, that was something. That was touching.
Yeah,
yes.
you don't get to see that that often here in the States, and it was done very well. It wasn't one of those where like some of the other Godzillas, it was definitely distracting watching the voice try to match up with the with the
dubbing.
With the dubbing and the way the mouth's moving. This, I honestly, it didn't. Within like the first 5 minutes, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah,
it was very good. I enjoyed that immensely. Probably, I would say honestly, my favorite Godzilla movie.
It was very good. Yeah,
at the very least, I can definitely say out of the Toho Japanese versions. My favorite Godzilla movie.
Yeah, and this was not Godzilla doesn't fight any monsters.
Nope.
It's Godzilla destroying
harkens back
Tokyo.
to the 1954 version.
Yep. And people have to fight Godzilla, and that's what it was. Like you say, just the visuals alone, like you said, of the ruins of the town and seeing people just living in ramshackle homes until they can rebuild and put their lives back together, and the love story that's mixed in this, like you said, it was
very unconventional,
right? Just a solid movie, solid acting.
Yeah,
like you said,
I
the visuals
agree.
just astounding. Yeah. Anything else, sir?
Nope. That's all I've seen.
Okay. I finished up X-Men '97, the animated series on Disney Plus. There's one season of that. Mentioned it here, here and there. Very good. If you're an X-Men fan, I think you'll definitely enjoy it. Certainly, if you watch the animated series back in '97, where they had one season or whatever it was, but it ended, and this picks right back up where that storyline left off. It's got the whole feel to the '97 animation and the voices and everything. So I thought it was very good. They set it up to where if they have another season, they could do it nicely. So
now, my question for that for you, because I didn't see it.
Yep.
Do I need to have watched the original from the '90s?
Nope.
I can pick up this and enjoy it as the story that it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can pick up easily. You kind of understand where the last season left off. They kind of helped fill in the blanks there a little bit. And I mean, if you have any general knowledge of the X-Men characters, which a lot of people do, you'll pick up on this just fine. And if you don't, you quickly learn what their powers are. Like, you may not be as familiar with like Jubilee, for example. It's like, I've heard of who she is, but you learn what her powers are. It's simple, very easy.
Okay.
and of course Magneto is a strong character in this thing. So yeah, so check it out for sure. And then
Now,
we'll talk
Jubilee,
about.
is she a good guy or is she a villain?
No, she is a good guy, but there are plenty of prominent female villains, certainly
Okay.
in the X-Men universe and otherwise, that we will talk about female villains a little bit later in the episode. And something that will also tie into another segment, on segment 2, I watched the 7M TikTok cult documentary on Netflix. I watched Godzilla first, and it sort of came up as a new release. Got primed up to watch some cult stuff.
Right, you got to. It's not something you can easily just jump right into.
No, it was kind of a weird combination, but I was sitting on the front porch enjoying the summer evening and early summer evening rather, and this came up. And if you watched, I know you don't watch TikTok that much here, but there's these like very highly produced dance videos of these very talented dancers, and I would always stop and watch them. So that would get into my algorithm. So I watch a lot of these videos, just super talented young people out there in a street setting or something like that, whether it be walking, and a lot of it was like old school type music from the 70s or 80s, 90s. And just super talented people dancing. I had no clue that this alleged cult was producing these videos, and these young people were living on this campus, like this whole church thing. So we'll talk more about that later.
Okay.
But it's like it's just fascinating stuff. Yeah, you hope people are okay and everything like that. But we'll talk
definitely
more about,
get into that.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that later in this segment too. That's it. That's it, really, over the past week, man.
All right. Well,
yeah,
we're moving quick on this, and just the two of us. So I think now we can take a quick little break.
Yes, sir.
And when we come back, we will discuss our idiot question of the week.
That's right. That's right.
Stay tuned.
Bring that to you. That's right. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break. Maybe we're going to pop out.
Popping and locking. Four, three.
Welcome back to Convincing Idiots, segment 2. Dean, we're going to buy a vowel. We're going to buy a vowel for our first story here. So we're shooting this on Thursday, June the 6th. Friday, June the 7th, an esteemed television career comes to a close. Any idea who is shooting, or who is be on a very last television episode tomorrow evening, sir?
If I were to guess, just because I'm a super smart guy, I would say Pat Sajak.
That is correct.
All right, look at me.
That is correct. The last Pat Sajak hosted Wheel of Fortune will air Friday, June the 7th. 41 seasons he has hosted Wheel of Fortune.
That's incredible.
Amazing career. We've done other episodes of favorite game shows and game show hosts and all that. He typically makes our lists. I mean, he's just a mainstay. Does that show so well. Makes it seamless. Probably do that show in his fucking sleep.
Is she going to stay on?
Vanna White is staying on for another season or two to help bring in Ryan Seacrest, who will start next season as the host. Yes.
Well, that's...
Yeah, it's okay.
He's got to let somebody else get work sometime, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So Pat Sajak's daughter is now working on the show as like a social media person and everything. So there's just nice stories out there where he talks about, he It was a part-time. He does an interview with her on the Wheel of Fortune YouTube channel, so you can find that out there. So, amongst other things, he said, it's a part-time job that he was able to pretend was a full-time job for many years, and allowed him to spend a lot of time with his family. He's got a son and daughter and a wife. So that's, I mean, what a career, man.
I'm more amazed that there's a fucking YouTube channel for it.
That's right.
What do you need a YouTube channel for fucking Wheel of Fortune?
A lot of fans out there, man.
Huh.
Yeah,
I would think the fans that they have, the average age of the fans, they wouldn't know how to fucking get on YouTube. I didn't think the numbers would cross over there.
Ethel, how do you get on the YouTubes?
I need on the YouTubes.
What channel's the YouTubes? They're talking about the YouTubes channel. Where is it? A CBS? What? Yeah, I don't know.
I'm looking for my Big Bang's Theory and on the YouTubes. I'm gonna need help here, people.
That's right. That's right.
Damn it!
They have a TikToks and a Twits.
No, I don't need the ticks or the talks. I just need my YouTubes to see Pat Sajak talk to his daughter.
That's it. So he's already lined up his next gig. He is going to star in a play in Hawaii called Prescription Murder. So he's going to reunite with a longtime buddy, Joe Moore.
Okay.
Who's a longtime newscaster and actor in Hawaii. Something I did not know is that the Prescription Murder was written by William Link and Richard Levinson. It was originally a play, which is what they're doing here, but the play eventually became the premise of the television series Columbo, which I think you're a fan of, if I remember, from the 70s.
I am a fan of Columbo, yeah.
Yes, Peter Falk, very popular show back in its time.
Excuse me, ma'am, just one more thing.
Yeah. Very interesting premise of a detective show. But anyway, so Pat Sajak, if you happen to be in Hawaii, you can catch Pat Sajak in a play. That would be a fine evening. I would really. Why not? I would enjoy that immensely. Beach all day, hang out.
If you're looking for vacation destination, I know Hawaii wasn't going to be your first choice, but Pat Sajak's there, so maybe reconsider.
Sure, absolutely. That'd be a fine evening, I'm sure. So, good luck, Mr. Sajak. We wish you the very best, and definitely, it's a show I always enjoy. That game show. I don't watch it very often anymore, but when I do, it's like a comforting blanket between that and Jeopardy. It's something I would watch at my mom's. It's like if I'm over visiting my mom and those game shows are on, you have to watch those with
and
your parents,
you probably aren't allowed to talk.
No,
the wheels on.
You play along.
Oh, okay. She allows you. You can talk as long as you're playing along.
That's right.
Okay, that makes sense.
So beyond the Pat Sajak play that's coming out, so announcement of another franchise that has new stuff in development. The Hunger Games has a prequel movie and book in development now. So it's set for a 2026 release. I've not seen Hunger Games at all. Are you a Hunger Games fan, Dean? Have you watched any of these?
I watched the movies. Jennifer Lawrence. Why wouldn't you?
Of course.
Yeah, they were fine. They were fine for what they were. They were a teenage action movie.
Okay.
Overacted in some places, most places, but it was just fine. I didn't dislike them.
Are you interested in the prequel?
No. If Jennifer Lawrence is not in it, I could give two shits less. No.
I don't think so. I think it might be about her character. Let's see. But I don't think she's going to be in it, though.
Okay, then yeah, I'm out.
Okay, so there you go. No, it's 24 years before the events of Hunger Games. So there you have it.
It would be before
So-
she's alive. She was
Yes.
only in her early 20s in the movies.
Yep. It will start on the morning of the reaping of the 50th Hunger Games, also known as the second quarter quell, in which Hamish Abernathy, portrayed by Woody Harrelson in the original series, competed. So there you go. So probably have a young Hamish Abernathy then, it seems. Okay.
I don't know what sort of demographic you and I are looking to cover on tonight's episode, but we've gone from Pat Sajak to the Hunger Games.
Mm-hmm.
We're covering it all.
Well, we have people that listen that are 60 and up, for sure.
Sure.
You got to give them the Pat Sajak,
and then teenage
story.
girls who also, whether you're listening to the Hunger Games or buying a vowel with Pat Sajak, you're gonna need insurance. And let me tell you, I have just the place for you. Blake Insurance is an Erie insurance agency located right here in Barberton, Ohio. They provide auto, home, renters, and business insurance with honesty, decency, and affordability. Erie Insurance is above all else in service. You want to call 234-571-5359. You don't have to rewind that because I'm going to say it again. 234-571-5359 or visit BlakeInsuranceLLC.com for your free 5-minute quote today. And when you do, tell them that you went ahead and bought a vowel and the idiot sent you.
Very good. Excellent. And we're sure that our fans in the 60 and up bracket are surely watching us on the YouTube's channel for sure.
And let me tell you,
after they watch the Wheel of Fortune interview, go ahead.
Well, no, but that's the thing, Brian, is people 60 and up, or any age, you're looking. Everybody's looking to save money, Brian. Everybody's looking to pinch a little pennies here and there because times are tough.
That's
with
right.
inflation and us having to save up money to go watch the Hunger Game prequel. We all need to save some money, and no better way to start saving money than with Blake Insurance. Very
good, sir. Very good. Well, speaking of saving money and tough times and everything else, a pretty big story in the world of music this summer, Dean. So I don't know if you've noticed or not, but there's been a couple major tours canceled recently. So
I did not know. Who canceled?
Jennifer Lopez has canceled a big tour. And we are in the Northeast Ohio, Akron, Barberton area. One of the big bands out of this area is the Black Keys, and very popular band. They were planning. I thought
you were going to say Lawrence Welk. I was getting concerned.
A big one, right? Yeah. Devo is another. There's plenty of other ones from this area, but no, the Black Keys had a tour planned, and they have also canceled their tour. And other acts are canceling as well. So. A lot of people are wondering, like, kind of what's happening here. It seems like that in the world of streaming, plus just the fact that the economy's tight, and what a lot of bands. I'm giving the thumbs up on camera. A lot of bands, concert
really
tickets.
These guys are calling it quits for the summer. Wow, jerk.
Yeah. No, but just the budget for people to go to a concert is just more and more expensive. We've talked recently about ticket fees, being very expensive these days with monopolies.
You gotta be frugal. We're going to what, Doobie Brothers?
We're going to see Chicago. We'll be hanging out with the 60 and up crowd in these concerts. There's no doubt about that.
No, we didn't get Doobie Brothers, did we? It's just Chicago. We got Doobie Brothers and Chicago.
So the Chicago concert is going to be Earth, Wind, and Fire, and that's Chicago is the headliner. Right?
Yep.
Who is still in Chicago? We have no idea. But we're going to know the songs. Same with Earth, Wind, and Fire. Don't know who's still.
You and I are going to hold each other and sing our little hearts out.
It's going to be a fun summer evening. And the Doobie Brothers with Michael McDonald, and I think it's Steve Winwood from the 80s. opening
I
for
am
them.
honestly
I think.
looking more forward to Michael McDonald than I think anybody else, even more than the Doobie Brothers. I'm excited.
Me too. If he wasn't singing with them, I would be like, eh. But he got back with them last year. They did a 50th anniversary tour, and then
Yeah.
they're back again. I missed it last year, and I'm glad we're doing that this year. So, but we bought those tickets. Live Nation has a very good annual special they've been doing since the pandemic. It ended. Since 2021, where it's $25 total, including fees for a ticket for certain shows. I mean, that's great. And certainly it's meant to encourage people like we are to go out to the show, right? And certainly they're hoping, you're going to buy a beer or something like that for $50 or whatever it is for a beer these days. But it's great, And some of the tickets that we didn't get during the special, I wished I would have, like Sammy Hagar, the ticket was $25. Normal price is like $75. It's like, God, for a lawn seat at Blossom Music Center, and that's a tough one, man. So I don't know. So is it a surprise to you that some of these tours are canceling? What do you think the factors are besides the fact that people it's expensive? I mean, do you think it's going to continue? Or do you think we have to see tickets come back down again to bring people back out to shows? What do you think?
Well, I guess it depends on the reasoning. I mean, some of these artists, something happens and lose their voice, or they get hurt, or they, something happens in their personal lives where they have to cancel.
Sure.
We don't know that, or at least, we haven't stated here. But if it is just because of declining sales, and they're like, well, we just can't fill whatever we were hoping to, I can't see Jennifer Lopez. I can't see her not getting the ticket sales where you have to cancel for that reason. But who knows?
I don't know.
But if that is the case, if it is because of declining ticket sales, yeah, they're gonna have to do something. But it's rough, because you have these artists, that they're making a lot of the money on merchandise and ticket sales out there because they don't have the with streaming and stuff, they don't have the album sales that the previous generations had. That's where they made their money. You went on tour to promote for people to go to Sam Goody and buy that goddamn album. Now you don't have the album. So it's reversed. Now you're hoping somebody listens to you on streaming, so they go and spend $185 for the ticket.
Right.
It's flipped. So I don't know what the answer is. There's got to be a medium. There should be, everything should have, somewhere in the middle, but who knows? With the greedy, record labels and the ticket sales, the venue and stuff, some of these, I won't mention names, but I think we all understand who they are, but these ticket venues jacking up prices, and hopefully with this new law passed that some of that will be regulated and kind of squashed, so to speak. So we'll see.
Yeah, maybe if we talked about the Department of Justice suing Ticketmaster to maybe break them up and create more competition. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, I don't know. Jennifer Lopez has said she wanted to spend more time with family, and there's rumors that maybe her and Ben Affleck aren't doing so good. Who knows if any of that's true and if that is a factor. And the Black Keys apparently is canceling they want to do more smaller venues instead of the bigger venues. So again,
that sounds like a ticket thing.
Yes, it does.
I mean, it's a lot more work, but I would much rather watch any concert in a smaller venue just for that intimacy. Yeah, we're going to Blossom where it's an outside situation. We're not going to be able to. We're not going to be able to tell if Michael McDonald still has a beard or not. I'm assuming, and pray to God that he does. But we're going to be so far away, and he's going to be on a stage. We're going to be out in the lawn. So you don't get that intimacy. We're going to get to enjoy the music, of course, but it's nothing like you would if you're in a small indoor venue and with that whole experience of the, not one-on-one, but you know what I mean, the closeness that would kind of be like a one-on-one.
Yeah, Allie and I went to, as we saw Judas Priest, as you know, recently at the Cavelli Center in Youngstown. That's a smaller venue, but that was a good-sized venue for that show. I mean, it's
Sure.
It was a very decent seat at a very reasonable price. You could see all the band members without, looking at a television screen to see them, right? A monitor. You could, and it was good. It didn't blow you out of didn't blow your eardrums out inside there. It was just a very good experience in a smaller venue like that. So that's it. And I don't know. I mean, some of these big stadium tours, like I was tempted to go see the Rolling Stones at Cleveland Brown City, and there's not many bands that could go there these days at that size of a venue. I think the Stones and then Billy Joel has been through there. I think last couple summers they had the whole metal show, the Motley Crue and a few other bands with them.
And then only is because it's the multiple bands of it.
Correct. Right. So I don't know. I mean, these days, if I spend over $100 on a concert ticket, I mean, it's just not something can I afford to do that once in a while? Yeah, sure. But it just seems like spending over $100 for a concert ticket for most bands. It doesn't seem, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's something that's
I can't do it. Everybody's watching the money, like I'd said before, but honestly, to me, it's more the principle of it. I don't know that there's a band out there right now that I would spend, that much money on, especially a couple $100. $100 might be like my max of what I would spend to see a concert. And even in that, it would have to be somebody really, really good, like Weird Al Yankovic or something. Sure.
I get that. Like AC/DC is touring in Europe again in stadium tours. I mean, there's not many. I mean, it's a couple of them that's been around for a while. It's still, but that's a band though I really enjoy. And if they came back around,
I would think about AC/DC.
Yeah, I'd spend $100 to see them because that's about it. I did spend $100 to see Aerosmith. It's our final tour, and it's going to be in September in Cleveland, and that's fine. I don't think I ever saw them that I could think of. And so that'll be good. That's fine, but I'm not going to spend over $100 to go see, some of these current bands. Just not going to do it.
Right.
All right. Well, I mentioned, Dean, one of the things I watched was the Dancing for the Devil was that documentary on TikTok about the 7M. It's like a church, right? So just again, very fascinating stuff here. So it got you and I talking even last evening about, cults in general. It's interesting how people can get involved in them and get involved in cult-like things, I guess.
What exactly are you trying to say? We're not trying to promote. We don't want to say cults are bad. Fuck that. The cults are bad. Goddamn, people drank Kool-Aid and died from them. Come on.
Yeah,
who are you trying to be nice to? The cult leader that's living next door? What the hell?
Yeah, that was a terrible segue into our question here. So,
I'm like, where in the hell is he going? He trying to apologize for?
I don't even know. Yeah. Meanwhile, donate to the cult of convincing idiots.
That's right.
Yeah, we're attempting to start one in Brazil, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me tell you this, everybody. Cults are not something you want to get involved with. They're bad. They're really bad for your soul. Anyways, right. I would like you to send us some money, and we will give you a T-shirt. You can listen to us all the time. Give us money.
Or go to hell.
Straight down.
Yeah. No, all I was trying to say is that we, certainly we're not interested in cults that are harming people. It's just is how people can get into something like that.
Yes,
so we looked at that's it, right? Yeah. We looked at a definition last night about cults, and one of them was it's a misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular person or thing, like a cult of personality, right?
Yeah.
So, certainly there's cult-ish type behavior and fascination with a lot of different figures out there. politically and otherwise, So there's not really a question here other than just our thoughts about cults and...
Here, can I
Go
put
ahead,
it
please.
differently? Okay,
Help me out
ladies
here.
and gentlemen.
I'm sinking here. Yeah.
Our question of the week.
Mhm.
Our question of the week is cult. What the fuck?
There you go.
So, Brian, like you said somewhere in that rant there, and it was in there somewhere.
If you're listening, this has probably been edited out by 10 minutes
Right.
at least. At least.
So you have no
to get
clue
to the fucking question.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No, like we said last night, what does it take? The human mind. I know they probably, and not probably, they have done psychological evaluations and looked into all of this, what it takes the human brain to give up everything for one person or one group, so to speak. Just cults in general. It fascinates me, and I know it fascinates you. Hence you watched the documentary. But like, why? Where does your brain have to go? It's kind of like almost. I have the same question with drugs, and I was asking this one person this one time. They had just OD'd the. I'll say I was a jailer for over a decade, and at the local jail, and I would book people in, and I would have time to have actual conversation with them. And I'd asked this girl, I said, she had just OD'd and was Narcan back a week before, and she's in there again today for drugs and stuff. And I asked her, I said, why? You at a certain point, because I knew you when we were younger, and you obviously weren't on drugs as a kid. But at a certain point, you have to have that needle. I mean, it's a whole process. You have to wrap the rubber band thing around, and you have to. There are very, very pivotal moments in this situation where you have to stop and go, I'm, for the first time, about to do heroin.
Mm-hmm.
How does one get there? And her response, and I think that this is prudent to also people in cults, maybe not all of them, just like her response might not be prudent to all drug users. She said that you have to hit the lowest point in your life. You have to, she said, I was at the point to where I didn't care what the result was going to be. I just wanted the pain of life to be over, whether it's what could be an overdose of death or the euphoria for an hour. She said she was at the end of everything. She was at the end of her rope. It is the bottom. That is your rock bottom. You are hitting the lowest point. And I think that's also what cult leaders and people they recruit look for, are people that are mentally or maybe even financially or whatnot at their lowest point. Because I think when you're at your lowest point, you'd be amazed on what you do when you've given up, right? I joined a podcast, so I mean, look at me. But you see what I'm saying? I mean, it's maybe that's where a lot of people have to start, in getting in these cults is being at their lowest point.
Yeah, that's probably true for some, I'm sure. I think certainly a part of it too is just a yearning of some type of sense of belonging.
Okay. Yep.
Like maybe wherever you were, you just didn't feel like maybe you really belonged, but you're with like-minded people all in this thing together, and you certainly have that in common. Whatever it is that you're doing and who you're around each other, whatever your whether it be you're worshiping something or believing in something, or you're really striving because whatever you're going for, whatever if it's a person or a belief or a whatever it is that you're interested in, you all are vying for that together, and as that sense of fellowship and community, as maybe some might view it as so screwed up or whatever. Hopefully, it's not harmful, to you.
You also have that cult personality that can talk you into the building, right?
Well, sure, absolutely.
Either if you've hit your low point, or you're just looking for a community or friends or whatnot, you have to have that one person. Nobody just goes, "Hey, we'll come join this cult." Everybody goes, "You know what? Fuck, I ain't got nothing to do until like noon." So yeah. No, you have to be talked in. You have to have that person. First, the person, whatever recruitment, if you're not talking to the actual cult leader, and then the cult leader is going to give whatever speech and rah-rah, and this is me, and this is everything. So, you have to have that charisma, I think, on top of what we've already said. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, it seems like a lot of cult leaders or people that are, they are purposely manipulating people for whatever reason.
Oh, sure.
Power,
that's what I said last night.
Or some combination of those things. So,
my three things that I think that people that like cult leaders and cult personalities strive for. They do this for three reasons: power, sex, and money.
Mm-hmm.
Though one or all of those three things is what people like that strive for. And when you get, I don't want to say gullible, because that's kind of, you're fucking up the victim who's in a bad place. They're going for unfortunate people. That's a nice way to put it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That are not in the best state of mind, and I think when you're in that not state of mind, you will listen to everything and everybody. That it's the mirage that you see.
Mm-hmm.
And you are way too far into the desert before you realize you're not drinking water, you're drinking sand.
Does social media make it worse these days?
In what aspect?
Just the ability to create more cult-like following, whether it be political or otherwise. Let's put it. We're not really a political show, but just I know you and I talk offline. It's like the whole Trump thing is fascinating,
right?
In many respects, where certainly there's a lot of people who are definitely very intelligent people who just have a belief, and they're not for what the Democrats are stand for. They want something different politically. Oh, that's fine. So. But there are others that seem like, to us anyway, that Trump just can't do any wrong. Whatever's going on in court or otherwise, there's always something. He's never in the wrong. There should not be accountability. It's always, but yet it's fed out there by him and news outlets, etc., where it just fuels that frenzy, that I don't want to say disbelief, but it just fuels that behavior in believing all these things. I don't know. So I don't know. What do you think about that?
It starts with the cult of personality. It starts with the charisma. I mean, whatever you think of the guy, he has a certain type of charisma that makes people want to believe in him and follow him. Mm-hmm. Just like Hitler had the same thing, right?
Sure.
Jim Jones had the same thing. All these people, doesn't have to be a technical cult. Everybody, will believe in that guy that not everybody, but all the, followers will believe in this guy leading them or girl leading them. And it's, yeah, does the media help? Of course not. Or let me rephrase that. They help him, or they help, other movements, because it's not just Trump. There's other people like him around the world.
Sure.
And he's not an anomaly. He is he's taking advantage of the times.
Mm-hmm.
People are looking for the water, and he's the mirage. With social media, or the media itself, even, right? Certain media outlets are following him as well, so they purposefully, stoke the fires and ring the bells and, get, everybody on the same page. So, he has help. He has help.
I know, it's just, I don't think there's probably no going back. So when he eventually is out of power, somebody else will be there. Could be on one political side or the other. And it just, the ability to reach thousands, millions of people on social media, it's just too easy to do. And if you can gain a following, there's going to be more and more of this type of stuff where folks are out there that, again, like I said, they're looking for something. They're looking for something to believe in. They're looking for some type of belonging, community. And folks will fall into some of this stuff here, and I don't know. It's just going to continue. It'd be much easier to fall into something like this as we go forward.
But don't get me wrong, Brian, and anybody listening. This isn't just a right problem. The right-wing problem.
Sure.
You could easily have a cult of personality on the far left that comes along that gets people just as crazy and fucked up and following them into a wall, so to speak. It's not just a right-wing thing. It's not a side-to-side thing. It just, right now, it happens to be, Republicans on the right following Donald Trump. And again, I'm only versed in what's happening politically in our country, and I'm sure there's other countries, and actually I do know that there are other countries that have these types of leaders that have these followers doing the same thing.
Sure.
But think about it this way. This just came to me. If you want to look at it, it's not just politics or religion or actual cults, right? If you're either going to cut off your nuts and wear sneakers, or you're going to drink Kool-Aid and die in a field somewhere. No, break it down. There are so many smaller cults, and like when you were making the reference earlier about the good, we're okay with the good cults. There's good cults out there, so to speak. If you think about it, like bands that have like die-hard fans.
Well, that's cult-like behavior too.
That's cult-like behavior.
Sure, absolutely. Like
there are
Grateful Dead
followers,
and bands like that, where they just that's what they do. It's a whole lifestyle. They
Jimmy
follow
Buffett
the band
fans.
around. Sure. Yes, that's definitely cult-like. That's for sure.
And again, that's not hurting anybody.
Nope.
It's just like-minded people getting, that follow religiously the one thing or one group or one person. There's YouTubers that have cult-like followings.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Fuck, we strive for it, but
yeah, like a Tony Robbins type folks that are out there too, that are motivational speaker type people, but they're smart enough though. They know that they're promoting and what they're putting out there. I mean, I'm sure they're probably in many respects actually trying to help people, but they also know it's a brand. that they are
Sure.
a brand.
They're not
Their
stupid.
message is a brand.
Yep.
They're bringing in money and people willing to spend on whatever programs and different things that they're offering. I'm sure they have retreats and this and that and the other too.
Yep.
And it all, like you say, is one of your three things there you just mentioned: money, power, and
Sex.
or sex. Yep, that's it. Yep. I don't know.
And again, and going back to the political thing, it's, Donald Trump is the extreme of that.
Mm-hmm.
If you just break down politics in general, both parties have cult-like followings, Democrats or Republicans. There are people out there that identify, that they go around going, I am a Democrat, I am a Republican, and
sure.
not, oh, I voted for a Democrat, I voted for a Republican. No, it's their fucking life. I get it if that literally is your life, like if you work, but I get that. That's one thing, but like somebody who just is living day to day, but like it just follows blindly one of the two parties. That's cult-like.
That's true too. You're right. And some of that it could be driven just by the extreme dislike of the other side, if you will. Right. Yeah. So guarantee it's like someone may have such a disdain for, right now Biden or Trump that they don't want to believe if your side, if your candidate is not looking the best for whatever reason. Right. Whether it be just as legal troubles or beliefs or age or whatever, you're not going to believe that your candidate could be in the wrong or whatever it is because of your hatred of the other side or whatever it is. I don't know. Well, it's the extreme, like extremes on both sides. Not even just, all right, let's go outside of the Republican or Democrats, just the social extremes. People on the right are just out their extreme devotion to this right-wing agenda, and then also, if you look on the opposite side, this left-wing extreme agenda. Extreme of anything, excess of anything is not good. We've been taught that our entire lives. Right. Yet we're all growing up and choosing the extreme of something and going way, way too far. Right. I know it's been like this for, a very long time. But at a certain point, when is logic going to take over and we literally find out, holy shit, there's a middle and we can meet there? Until that happens, we're fucked. Yeah. It's going to be a while, man. It'll be a while. I don't know. Well, all I know is that I'll drink about it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, we don't advocate any of this, and although we were made aware that drinking, I'm totally advocating for it. No, but the folks in Brazil are seeking to make a likeness of me, similar to the Jesus statue I'm talking about in Rio, but on a much smaller hill. It's like a molehill, and your arms won't be out. You just have one scratch in your ass. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll give it the approval for that, but it's for the fans. Bureaucracy just taking over, making it, slowing things down to get the statue made. Yep, that's it. That's it. So, all right. Well, interesting topic, interesting conversation, sir. We're going to go ahead. One last thing on it, and then we can move on. And all of you listening out there, all of you watching out there, remember this: we're idiots. These are our opinions. I'm right, but ultimately, it doesn't fucking matter. What you think doesn't fucking matter. What he thinks, what she thinks, doesn't fucking matter. We're on a spinning ball in the middle of space, and I'm stealing this from someplace else. I've heard it,
but the earth is like a dog and we are fleas. Sooner or later, it's just going to shake us off. So if you want to choose to go around in anger until you get shaken off, well, what a miserable existence that is.
Right.
I meant jerked
right.
off. That was supposed to be a masturbation rant. Sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
No, that's all. If you are seeking a sense of belonging, join us, idiots, each and every week. Feel stupid with us.
That's right.
For an
That's
hour
good.
or two.
If that ain't a goddamn T-shirt, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Feel stupid with us.
I like
Come feel stupid with us.
I like
Convincing idiots.
There you go. tpublic.com. Check it out.
There you go.
It'll be there soon. Yeah. All right, Dee. Well, we're going to take a little break. Try to feel slightly smarter, perhaps, or not. I don't know.
We've been trying for years.
That's true. Maybe one day we'll get there.
God willing, and the creek don't rise.
So we're going to come back with our main segment this evening. Villainous females. What are we talking about? You'll just have to find out.
Are we doing a WNBA segment?
Could be.
You almost died. You have a compound fracture of the tibia in both legs, and the fibula in the right leg is fractured too. And as soon as the road's open, I'll take you to a hospital. In the meantime, you've got a lot of recovering to do. There is nothing to worry about. You're gonna be just fine. I'm your #1 fan. My name is Annie Wilkes.
I think one of my clients, Paul Sheldon, might be in some kind of trouble.
You mean Paul Sheldon, the writer? Well, everybody sure likes those misery books.
They had it at the store, Paul.
They said he checked out last Tuesday. Isn't that a little strange?
I guess it was kind of a miracle you finding me.
In a way, I was following you.
Who following me?
Oh, Paul, I've read everything of yours. The misery novels. You must be a good man. You could never have created such a wondrous, loving creature as Misery Chastain.
Very kind.
The presumption must now be that Paul Sheldon is dead.
You dirty bird. How could you? Misery Chastain cannot be dead.
Misery Spirit is still alive.
I don't want her, Smith! I want her! And you murdered her!
You don't think he's dead, do you?
And don't even think about anybody coming for you, because I never called them. Nobody knows you're here. And you better hope nothing happens to me. Because if I die, you die. I know you've been out. Is this what you're looking for? Eventually, you'll come to accept the idea of being here.
Annie, whatever you're thinking about doing, please don't do it. Any regards.
Shh, darling. Trust me.
God's sake.
It's for the best. God, I love you.
Three, two.
Welcome back to segment 3 of episode 193 of Convincing Idiots. My name's Dean, the Zennial, here with Gen X Brian. We are talking about this stupid voice and why I keep doing this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have our main event. Our topic of the week is our Mount Rushmore. Again, we're idiots. Our Mount Rushmore of our favorite female villains. Right. I know out there, everybody loves their mama, loves their grandma, loves their sisters, loves their female dogs. You know, love the bitch. But we all do know, that villainous female out there. Whether it be on screen or maybe you work with her or maybe it is your mom. I don't know.
No
but
exes,
anyways,
right, Dean?
You said it.
Okay.
There's there might be an X out there, one or two, that for people, not us, we get along with everybody and love everybody. But there might be some X's out there for people that they're all a bit on the villainous side. So we are going to discuss our Mount Rushmore of female villains.
Okay.
On a side note, Brian, there's been a lot of talk. Speaking of females, I've heard more conversations about the WNBA over the past 2 months than I ever have with me on social media. Are people actually talking about it?
Yes.
Have you've heard this too? I haven't heard this much conversation and excitement about a female athletic event since the British Bake Off. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's Caitlin Clark from college, from Iowa. She was in the top scorer in college basketball history, joined the WNBA, so it just got a lot of instant added popularity, so that's it.
And some of these veterans I see are not happy with them, with the rookies and getting all the acclaim and.
Yeah, she's gotten some hard fouls and things, so that's a topic of conversation as well. Then it's a whole dynamic of, not unlike Larry Bird getting into the NBA in his time. Are you just talking about him because he's a good white player and she happens to be white as well? So it's got that racial dynamic and everything. But at the end of the day, they have more, like you say, more people are talking about it, more people are watching it, and if it helps the league, then that benefits everybody potentially, right? So we'll see. But you're right; it is a lot more talk than many years prior.
Well, good for them, right?
Sure.
So, absolutely. All right, so let's start this off. Do you want to? You go first. Who is the first name on your Mount Rushmore? Now we talked about this offline. The criteria, we're idiots, so it doesn't really. We don't have a set criteria for it. This could be an actress doing the role, not the actress herself, but the character that she's portraying, or it could be just a character in general.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, I have a lot of mine are actresses playing a character, but not all. So yeah, exactly what you said here. So this is a question for this topic we found off X. So people put these interesting random questions out there that generates conversation and all that. And this happened to be the person who posted this. I didn't take the name, so I apologize out there, whoever started this particular thread. But I agree with this first choice. It is from the movie Misery, the Stephen King adaptation of Misery. The character is Annie Wilkes, played by the great Kathy Bates. One of her best roles, period. I think she won an Oscar for this, if I'm not mistaken.
She did.
So, yeah. And and top to bottom, one of the best Stephen King novel adaptations, period.
Oh, sure.
Also, if arguably the best. I mean, you really can tear a lot of these down and really argue for some, like The Shining, certainly this or that. But
the Langoliers.
Yeah, right. Sure, of course.
There's something so creepy and disturbing about her sweetness in that movie.
Very believable.
Yes, it's like just I have a lot of relatives from the South, and there is that Southern sweetness that could easily change on a fucking dime.
Yes.
If you say the wrong things, you go from Sunday best to midweek blues real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Kathy Bates did best in that.
Absolutely. Again, you just felt the fear and the angst of James Caan in that bed, just trying to get out of there. And again, you could just picture something like that really happening to somebody. It happened to be wrong place, wrong time, odd circumstances, and you're out in the middle of nowhere. You can't get out, and that the hobbling scene is still one of the most grisly scenes.
We can watch as many Jason and Freddy movies out there of people getting stabbed in the face and their heads blown off. But there's something so cringe-worthy and real about that sledgehammer hitting that goddamn ankle. Oh my God! Him with the fucking towel in the mouth, just the anticipation, and he knows it's coming. He gets nothing to do about it. Yeah, that's that right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Great role. Great
Absolutely.
movie. I watched it a couple of years ago. I hadn't seen it in many years, and it's like so all the same feelings. Came right back up. Man, so good.
1,000%.
Yeah. So great role, Kathy Bates.
Very, very good. All right. My number one on my list. Not necessarily, I'm sure there was a voice actress to it, but I did not look that up. I'm just going on one of the best bad guys in animation. I'm going Ursula from The Little Mermaid.
Sure.
She was cool. She was confident. She was cocky. She was a badass. But that bitch was evil.
Mm-hmm.
She took my girl's voice.
Sure.
She had such a pretty voice, Brian. Give me all the feels. She took it. She took it away. Never forgive her. Ursula, one bad bitch. That's right.
Disney has so many. I mean, you could name a lot in the Disney movies in general. I mean, it could almost be a whole topic. Disney did the female villains so well, and you're right. That was definitely.
I think Walt had some issues.
Could be.
Walt had some shit he had to work out.
But it was good. I mean, it was like why not have it doesn't all have to be male villains. I mean, all the way back to Snow White. I mean, the evil queen. I mean, there's just some great movie villains for a long time in the Disney world.
I think that goes back to like why female villains might be better than male villains in films and TV is because of the fumblingness. Disney and amongst other people, other live action can write easily the male villain to be bumbling or a little dim-witted or there's flaws. You very rarely have them write a female villain and give her flaws or any sort of bumbling. These female villains that we're talking up normally are just on the money, cruel, badass villains.
Sure. They're very intelligent, calculating.
Yeah.
You're right. Yep.
There's no slip-ups there.
Nope.
All right, so number 2 on your list, Brian.
Very good. Well, my villain fits all those criteria as well. Again, just confident, calculating, etc. Cate Blanchett played one of the best Marvel villains in any Marvel movie, in my opinion. She played Hela from the Thor. Is it
Ragnarok?
Ragnarok. Yeah.
I know that because it looks like you looked at the bottom of my list and just going up on my list.
No, just a great role for her. I mean,
normally
she
you're
was
going
sort
down
of.
on me, but...
She felt certainly that she was fighting alongside Odin, and they were. She didn't view herself necessarily as a villain until she was sort of, I guess, made to be the villain, and she embraced it certainly.
Sure.
But did she just look great? The whole horned helmet look that she had, she was certainly powerful. The whole scene with her catching Mjolnir, and crushing the hammer, just like damn,
That's the thing is you look at somebody like that, and did you see the What If episode where they made her a good guy?
Yes, very good.
That character was so goddamn powerful that like if she would have been on the side of the Avengers, probably one of the strongest Avengers, right?
Sure. Absolutely. Without question. Yep.
She could have easily taken out Thanos.
Oh, sure. And let's be honest. Of all the female villains, one of the most attractive. Let's be honest.
Yeah, easy on the eyes. Yeah,
absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, can't complain. I wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating cookies. That's for sure.
Nope, not at all. So again, great role for Cate Blanchett. Again, different role for her, but she was just fantastic.
Definitely, absolutely. All right, Brian, I'm gonna go in our Wayback Machine. All right. I think it was back in the 70s. There was a little movie called Mommy Dearest. Faye Dunaway played Joan Crawford in Mommy Dearest. And what makes her so hateable and villainous? Because Joan Crawford was a real person in real life. She was an actress in the early movies, and she famously was not nice to her children or to anybody else, with the drinking and the beating and the no more wire hangers.
Yeah.
And then beat her daughter with the wire hangers that were in the closet. Faye Dunaway did such an incredible job with this troubled and flawed woman that Joan Crawford on this list isn't Hela. She isn't Ursula. There's no powers. There's no essentially killing anybody. It's just being cruel and diabolical in real life that makes her probably the worst villain on my list because of the real life villainy that she did and portrayed in real life. So yeah, Joan Crawford, portrayed by Faye Dunaway in the movie Mommy Dearest.
Very good. I don't know if I ever watched that movie. I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know if I ever saw it.
It's not easy to watch. Like, it's a good movie. Don't get me wrong, but those scenes are they're rough to watch. Or beating those kids and such. All right, what about you? What you got for number 3?
Number 3, one of my favorite, some of the favorite work of Quentin Tarantino. I mentioned before the Kill Bill movies, Kill Bill 1 and Kill Bill 2. Those movies had some of the best female villains in cinematic history, in my opinion. So I'm going to give you from Kill Bill Volume 1, Lucy Liu portrayed Oren Ishii in that movie. Again, just super smart. She was an assassin.
Yep. Cold calculated. Yeah. And the scene where she ran across the table and chopped the guy's head off for being insolent. Just to get a rise out of everybody. Like, okay, you're not going to insult me. Ran across the table, cut off his head, and kind of toss it across the table. That got attention. That would make people. Yeah, that'd make you pay attention in a board meeting. Yep. For sure. No question about it. Just great. And you should try that at work. I like that. Yeah. I had that feeling this week with the people with various emails I got from certain people, and I want to cut their head off virtually. Well, Carter has a katana that you can borrow it. I like it. I may have to do that. Yeah. And the scene when she fought Uma Thurman in that movie, it's just the scene itself is such a beautifully shot scene, sword fighting and all that. It's snowing. They're out in this garden, and there's this fountain that fills up with water, and it just clink. So it's just a beautiful, peaceful surrounding, and these two ladies are fighting to the death out there. So, man, great villain, great role for Lucy Liu. So fantastic. There you go. All right. Next on my list, I'm going to have to really work at pronouncing this girl's name here. The character is Catherine Mertuli. Machuli? Catherine Machuli, portrayed by Sarah Michelle Gellar in the movie Cruel Intentions.
Oh, man.
Cruel Intentions was a very, like, if you go in a time capsule and go, that is quintessential 90s. That movie, given the obviously the time period, but the look, the music, the speech, very, very quintessential 90s. And Sarah Michelle Gellar was exactly what the title was, Cruel Intentions. So, you know, she was befriending this kind of loser of a girl just to fuck with her, just to ruin her. And it was almost like the movie Mean Girls, but not funny. What had Ryan Phillippe in it, was the boyfriend. She was on a different level. Like, you've seen Sarah Michelle Gellar in Buffy the Vampire Slayer and all these great movies, and how no was she in the I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Don't remember. I don't remember.
Anyway, she's been in a lot of these great movies, a lot of these great 90s movies, and she's always been that, you know, she had that spunk to her. This was just pure cold bitchiness. Just evil, just like the other one, the Joan Crawford one I had. It's more of a realistic portrayal of evil and dickheadedness. So, yeah. Catherine Murtuli, I'm probably butchering that. Sarah Michelle Gellar in Cruel Intentions.
Very good. Next one I have is a very popular villain in the comics that they talked about bringing to the big screen. And a lot of people I think they sort of were vying for this particular actress to play the role, and she did, and really played the villain perfectly in many respects, even though a couple of the movies that she was in was not so good until the last one, in my opinion, but played the character very, very well. This is Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn.
Oh, yeah.
So Harley Quinn made it, it was a very popular, Joker's girlfriend, another kind of insane, female-ish, version of the Joker, if you will. I shouldn't say female-ish, but a female Joker-ish character. That's probably a better description.
Yeah.
So in the animated series, also very good. The voice actress who played Harley Quinn was against Mark Hamill's Joker, if I'm not mistaken, in Batman the animated series.
Yep, that's right.
Was very, very good. And again, Margot Robbie just played the character very, very, had a great look, played it great, insane with the big hammer and everything. So just
she might be one
fantastic.
of the handful of actresses who can look like, in a movie, look like she hasn't bathed in days and still be incredibly fucking hot.
That's right. Yeah. Not many actors could pull that off. You're exactly right.
No, but she does it quite well.
She definitely can. So great role, great villain, and the Suicide Squad movie with James Gunn made was great. Really helped kind of wrap up that tenure of probably the last time we'll see her playing that character in the movies, I would guess, but ended very well.
I agree. All right, so I'm going to call some audibles here because you took my last two, and I want to get a little difference here. I'm going to go with, are you familiar with the actress Louise Fletcher? She happened to portray a character called Nurse Ratched in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
That's right.
Again, with this realistic portrayal of just how cruel and evil another human being can be, especially to these mental patients who are already, not doing so well.
Mm-hmm.
And her cruelty and awfulness just portrayed beautifully by Miss Fletcher. That woman was perfect for the role.
Mm-hmm.
She was, just real life cruelty will always win when I'm looking at villains. So, Nurse Ratched, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Very good. Yeah, I think she just passed on within the last year or so.
Yeah,
that
I believe
actress,
so.
But and she won a Best Supporting Actress, I believe, for that role too, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Very good. Next one I have, again, Kill Bill makes a reappearance here for me. It had, again, a lot of the movie was filled with powerful women on both sides. Certainly Uma Thurman as the heroine was fabulous, and multiple very good female villains. The character in Kill Bill 1 and 2, Elle Driver, it was just a different role for this actress, or you were used to kind of seeing in a very, sweet roles on screen. Mermaid with Tom Hanks, but in this role was completely different from her. Daryl Hannah played Elle Driver. She had the eye patch. She had her eye plucked out. She was really, really just evil. Smoking cigarettes and just foul mouthed and good. And again, the scene with her fighting Uma Thurman in the small trailer after she unleashes the poisonous snake on the guy.
Incredible! Those two had, to have that, or I mean, they didn't choreograph it, but somebody else did. But to pull that off in such a small space and be such a badass fight.
Yes. Just fabulous.
Yeah, she was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's what helps when you take somebody so beloved and wholesome like Daryl Hannah and you go, let's flip it on its head. She's going to be the villain. And you realize, oh shit, she has that in her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome to see.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I went with Nurse Ratched. My last one here, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
This was on the fly because I was watching the movie earlier this week, and I realized that this villainous female, was famous in many, or not many, but other ways that I didn't. Even as a child, I never understood. I am talking about the evil Miss Ruby Deagle in the movie Gremlins.
Oh, jeez.
When she, from telling the woman with kids that whether being mean about them having no heat and she wants to kick them out of their house, to wanting to kill the dog and eat him or whatever she said. She was just, even as a child, it just angered me to no end when that woman came on the screen. She was such a brilliant actress. And do you realize who she is?
Nope.
Until this week, I didn't put two and two together that Miss Deagle is fucking Flo.
Oh, that's right.
Right?
From the Alice show. That's right.
From Alice show and Flo.
Right.
I watched both Flo and Alice growing up. I watched Gremlins growing up, and it never occurred to me it was the same actress. And she was so saucy and smartass and funny and likable. And then I could flip on Gremlins and just despise this woman. So I'm giving her, Miss Deagle, this last spot, mainly for the actress Polly Holiday.
Very good.
So Miss Deagle rounds up my Mount Rushmore, Brian.
Excellent. Do you have any honorable mentions?
I do. Why don't you go with your honorable mention first?
Okay. Go back and forth?
Sure. We got time.
Okay. This is a fictional portrayal, a fictional character, and a fictional portrayal of this character. But one of my favorite portrayals of this villainess in the movies, Medusa, in the movie Clash of the Titans from 1981. So this was the claymation, the stop motion by the great Ray Harryhausen, who was he did phenomenal work in that type of special effects in his day. So he did that movie, did some of the like Jason, the Argonauts type movies where he did the claymation. But that version of Medusa was so frightening at the time. And Perseus is in there looking for, and she comes out. She's got the snake, of course, the snake's hair. But her version is so interesting as the bottom half of her body was a half of a snake as well.
That's right.
So she's kind of upright with also a bow and arrow, scaly, slithering, just very. Even though you could tell clearly it's fake and all that, but just the whole vibe and scene and how well that was portrayed was frightening.
The one thing I never understood, though, she could wrap her bottom snake part around a dude and crush him. She could look at him and he turns to stone.
Yep.
Why in the fuck does she need a bow and arrow?
Well, she was just very deadly, man.
I guess. Long range combat, I guess.
Sure.
All right.
Well, there was a scene when she shot a guy with an arrow and he fell, and then he turned around and looked at her, and then she got him with the stare, turned him to stone right there.
I'm going to get you one. I'm going to get you there.
Absolutely. Yep. There you go. Medusa.
All right. Medusa. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going Regina George in Mean Girls, portrayed by Rachel McAdams.
There you go.
Again, comedy version of it, but just cruel and mean to other girls because she's a mean girl, and she did it very well. Regina George.
There you go. Excellent. I'll give you another fictional character, animated character.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite series, I think one of yours as well, Futurama. Mom on Futurama. So Mom ran the whole Mom Evil Corporation, just evil, comically evil, taking over this, that, she was put so many, so just a great, funny villainous character. And I don't know who did the voice of Mom, but she was fantastic.
Okay.
So there you go. Mom from Futurama.
Very good. All right. So, I had Medusa as well. So I will go with generically the character, because she's been portrayed in many films and many cartoons and comic books. I'm going Catwoman.
Yes.
I mean,
very good.
She's the sly and cunning villainess, right?
Mm-hmm.
She didn't really, I don't think, go out to hurt people, but she got what she wanted, what she needed, and she just did it in a villainous way.
Very good versions. Again, that's another character where, certainly everything was good. Comics, she was great and intriguing. Yep. Animation, the movies, a couple different very good portrayals, not unlike the Joker, right? So you have the Michelle Pfeiffer version with the Michael Keaton Batman, right?
Yep.
And then Lenny Kravitz's daughter
Zoe
in the last the Batman movie, right?
Yep.
So yeah, very interesting character for sure. Good. Let's see here. I haven't watched this movie in a long time. Again, another movie that just kind of puts you in it. You could feel it. You could. It's a believable type movie. The character was Alex Forrest portrayed by Glenn Close in Fatal Attraction.
Ooh, yeah.
So good.
Yep.
One of Glenn Close's best roles. Again,
She killed the goddamn rabbit.
Yes.
Come
I'm
on.
not going to be ignored.
No. Mm-mm.
You know, and Michael Douglas was just powerless. Powerless against her in that movie. So good. But again, you could picture that type of stuff happening. And
That's the scariest part.
I bet you people watch that movie. There's not a doubt in my mind where some people watch that movie and some dude may have been slightly entertaining, trying to maybe have an affair with somebody. He watched that movie and he was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah, I'm
that
good.
movie probably saved some marriages. I'm not even kidding around.
Saved some lives too.
It probably did. Probably saved a couple of rabbits. You know,
right?
I don't
Definitely
know.
that. All right, so I'm gonna go with my next one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going. Might be cheating because she's technically a robot, but still a girl robot. I'm going Megan from the movie Megan.
Sure.
And I'll give a shout out to the two actresses actually that had to portray her. It was Jenna Davis and Amy Donald portrayed the robot, murderous female robot Megan. If you haven't seen it, it's a fun movie. It's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend that. I've seen it twice now.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Haven't got to that one yet, but I know what you're talking about.
Dude, you'll love it.
Okay.
Definitely up your alley.
The AI robot, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah. She comes to.
Okay.
She's made to be the girl's friend and ends up being sentient. And the ending is wild and awesome.
Okay. I don't know if you know this movie. I Care a Lot. I can't remember where or if it was on streaming. Definitely a great watch. So the character in this movie is Marla Grayson, played by the actress Rosamund Pike. Just vile character and just portrayed so well. The character in the movie basically ran a business where they would locate seniors, that had assets, and somehow go in there and convince them to allow them to be like the power of attorney over their assets, and basically just take their stuff, take their money,
real life villain.
Real life type villain stuff, exactly. And then take the person and lock them away in a home or something like that, and they were just powerless since they signed over the control of their estate or whatever.
How do you think I'm going to gain control over this fucking podcast?
Exactly. Someday.
Mm-hmm. Putting you in a home.
I don't know what I signed the other day, out drinking with you, but...
You don't worry about that. It'll be fine.
Okay. I was told it was just an autograph.
Yeah. Well, I'm a fan. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So is my lawyer. Go ahead.
Yeah, so if you just... I'm looking for a movie to watch. I don't know what to watch here, but I'm going to watch something that's kind of a compelling with a very evil type character. Check out I Care a Lot. Very well done, very well acted. And you will hate that character, I guarantee it.
Sure. All right. All right, this next one I have here, she's technically not the villain, but she's portraying the villain, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Little girl Reagan McNeil from The Exorcist, portrayed by Linda Blair.
Yes.
She's technically not the villain, but she's inhabited by the villain, so it's one of those gray areas that I went back and forth on. That's why I left her on honorable mentions.
No, good.
So, I mean, she did kill a dude, so...
Yeah, frightening. I mean, her as a young girl, as I mentioned before, I mean, that is still to this day, one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Still holds up for me. Frightening. Yeah, she just did a great job. Just to get scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then how they did that with the other actress, her voice, dubbed over.
Right.
When she was possessed, was just, again, it added another level of terror. But you're right, just a very well acted and terrifying character.
Yeah, she did. That little girl did a great job.
Yes.
I mean,
absolutely.
what you had to endure as an actor to like have to do that at that age, some of that shit, that's wild.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. I'm a James Bond franchise fan, as you know, and the James Bond franchise in itself has had several female villains, whether it be just sort of a main character or at least a supporting character villain that went after James Bond. And this particular one also had just one of the more fun, goofy James Bond, female names, as a lot of them did, portrayed by Famke Janssen.
Famke Janssen, yeah.
Yes. The first James Bond movie by Pierce Brosnan, taking over the character in GoldenEye, the villain Xenia Onatopp.
Yeah.
And her power was the literal thing that she could do was she had very powerful thighs that could crush you. So there was a scene where
we
she's
should all
crushing.
be so lucky, Brian.
That's a way to go.
Yeah, you're gonna go.
There's worse ways to go. That's
well,
for
they say
sure.
Go big or go home, right?
That's it. But the scene where she's crushing Pierce Brosnan with her thighs is quite good. But she was very big.
We all wanted to be James Bond at one point in our life, but we all really wanted to be James Bond at that moment.
That's right. Very good. And he gets her off. He's like, no more foreplay. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Great role, great villain. There you have it.
All right. This next one, just a quick one. We don't need much discussion because we all know Cruella de Vil just wanted to wear puppies, and that's just mean.
That's right.
So, Cruella de Vil.
Very good.
Brian?
I'll give you one more, just for the heck of it. Another James Bond villain. The last James Bond movie portrayed by my favorite Bond growing up, Roger Moore. A View to a Kill, character Mayday, played by the great Grace Jones in that movie. Just Grace Jones, just beautiful.
Yep.
Powerful, had a great look to her back then.
She was just cool as shit, wasn't she?
Yes, absolutely. And she's at the peak of her physical prime in this movie. Just looked great.
Like we are now.
That's right, of course. Yep. And a quick cameo in this movie by her then boyfriend at the time, before he made it big very soon after. Dolph Lundgren played like a just a side character, like a brief scene where he's like some guy, basically, some bad guy with a gun or something. Then shortly thereafter, of course, he went on to his prominence. But anyway, she was great in the movie. Eventually, the villain turned good at the end of the movie, but still, she was a villain through most of it. Very evil and scary. So there you go, Grace Jones.
Very good. Very good. All right, Brian. My last one. Actually, I didn't even think about this until we were talking here, and I wrote her down. And I wish I would have, because she would have been number one on my list. I can't believe, and I'm embarrassed and ashamed that I didn't think of her before this. One of the most foul, villainous women ever to be portrayed, not the actors, to be portrayed on film. Is there more evil in this world than Jenny Cran? Jenny from Forrest Gump.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
My number one evil villain.
Terrible.
The awfulness of that woman, just treating Forrest like shit through decade after decade. She tried to give him AIDS. She married him just to have a home, and I'm not even 100% sure Lil Forrest was his.
Mm-hmm.
I think she just found her mark throughout time and kept going back to it.
Great one.
Just the worst.
Great one.
Fuck Jen, eh?
That's right. Yeah, Forrest should have ran away from her.
Yeah,
you know?
He really should have.
Right. Or you know what? He could have ran from her. He could have got away from her, maybe even more quickly, Dean. If only.
What would be quicker than Forrest Gump running?
If only he would have had an electric bike, Dean.
Of course.
You know? Yes. He could have called our friends at RPM Bike Shop in Carrollton, Ohio at 330-808-7792 and gotten away more quickly from
Jen A.
Jen A. Yeah.
Jen A. Jen A. Your cough is getting worse.
That's right.
What are those scars on your face, Jen A?
And I'll add one more thing, you know, all of these female villains, we had a lot of great ones here. Most of them just cold-hearted, may have had a heart of black, if you will, right? But the opposite of that, heart of gold.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me think of our friends at Golden Heart Tattoo, Dean. So if you're kind of feeling maybe a little villainous yourself, you kind of feel like a badass or something like that, what better way to get yourself a tattoo, right? Embrace your dark side, embrace your villainous side. Give them a call at 234-706-2982. You can also find them on Facebook and online, goldenhearttattoos.com.
Brian, I'm considering getting a tattoo on my ass that says Jenny gave Forrest AIDS. What do you think?
Sure.
Yeah? Okay.
I like it.
I'll make the appointment tomorrow.
There you go. Well, as Forrest had to run away, we too have to run away from this particular episode and bring it to an end, Dean. So, remind you again, find us out there wherever you listen to podcasts.
I'm sad that we're leaving.
That's right. That was not Tom Hanks, ladies and gentlemen. In case you're only listening and confused. Listen wherever you listen to podcasts. Find us on our YouTube channels. Find us on our Linktree page, Linktree Convincing Idiots. Find us on our website, convincingidiots.wordpress.com.
www.wordpress.com.
That's right. And have we convinced you that life is like a box of chocolates? You don't know if you're getting any... Go ahead.
I think we were going to say the same thing.
Go ahead.
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know if you're going to get AIDS.
No, that wasn't what I was going to say.
Oh, okay. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Yeah.
Go.
You don't know if you're getting a good episode or a mediocre episode.
Well, luckily you got a good one.
We'll see you next week.
Hey there, if you like that video, or if you just like to watch us make fools of ourselves, please like and subscribe to this channel. We really appreciate it, and we hope to see you back here.
2.
This week on Convincing Idiots, you're going to want to listen. You're going to want to watch. We talk about Pat Sajak. His run is coming to an end. And then concerts. All this summer, we have a bunch of bands now.
Okay.
No, I fucked that up. That was backwards in my brain. All right.